Hi, everyone. My name is Frank Mayo, and I'm thrilled to be with you guys today. As my friend Ron Haviv asked me to come in and speak to you guys. The Foundry is doing great work. Seven does great work, and I'm really thrilled to be speaking with you today. After this presentation, I'll be around, so hopefully you guys will have questions, and we can discuss further. Just a little bit of background on me. I've represented photographers for 30 years in the commercial and photojournalist space, always trying to get photojournalists commercial projects so that they can make a living. As you know, it's a tough business to be in, and you need to be proactive in everything you do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a case history that one of the photographers that I worked with, Stefan Falker, executed. And what I'll do is I'll share my screen and we'll get right into it. Um, and so what it is, this is a personal project that led to commercial success. And this is one of the things where um, you need to really be doing personal projects because it allows you to have complete creative freedom to do what you want, shoot it the way you want. And this is just some information on me, my Instagram, my website, all the different ways of contacting me, and feel free to contact me as we're all part of the same community, and it's my pleasure to help you guys in any way I can. So how do you create a business, right? You guys are in business. And one of the things that I think is really important and overlooked is you need to separate yourself from your competition. And I don't mean that in a mean-spirited way, but you have to think of it that how do you stand out in this overcrowded network and this overcrowded workplace that we're in? So you need to create and notice opportunities, be nimble, do research, always be thinking. I always say, I even say it to my kids, be interested, be interesting. And that's going to be, one of the things that really is going to help you as you move forward in your career, because you have to be, uh, aware of your competition. You have to connect and you have to engage with your potential clients and become a creative resource for an editor or an art director or an art producer, in that you have ideas, and if they need something they can come to you and say, wow, we're looking for a great printer, do you know one? We're looking for a retoucher, we're looking for someone who specializes in AI. Whatever it may be that person, so that your potential clients can come to you for an array of needs, right? I mean, and that will portray yourself as a colleague to these clients, but you become someone that they want to use, and they want to use you for a variety of reasons. On top of that list is your photography and your vision. So always be service minded and follow up. So Stefan Falker did this book during COVID, Keep Going New York. And what he did was he created an opportunity, and he does what photographers do, they shoot. So he was shooting in his environment, this personal project on COVID, and he just hit the streets. So you imagine um, New York City during COVID, it was completely empty, completely empty. So what I have here on the screen, and you'll see as I continue, scenes where it was COVID generated, and then scenes that ended up being used in a commercial project. As we evolve, you'll see what I mean. So New York City was completely empty, right? And as Stefan was shooting, he was thinking, what more can I do with this? Right? New York is his playground. He lives there, works there, loves the city, and this personal project was something that was close to his heart, because he had to shoot. He's a photographer. That's what you guys do. But you imagine the scene. This is Times Square on the left, where it's completely empty in the middle of the week, in the middle of the day. Nobody is walking around Manhattan. So what he would do is he'd set up his camera and wait for someone to just fill in the frame and see what came from it. Um, So again, this is more of the New York landscape. And what happened was he, while he was shooting this, he was thinking, how can I make use of this? What can I do? And what he did was he put together a book, and it's called Keep Going New York. And it's all these images that I'm showing you here. But what he did was he decided that he'd put the book together and then send it to potential clients, friends that he knew, people that were his creative community. Right now, you see that other shot on the right there. That's Washington Square Park. I mean, imagine that park, completely empty. Is just crazy. So he produces the book. He had this content. What do you do with the images? So he ended up using it, like I said, with personal contacts. He promoted it on all the social media platforms. He entered contests. The one thing you should realize is that just because you do a personal project doesn't mean you're going to get a job from it. But what it satisfies is it satisfies your creative need, right? To create this content, and it makes you think, what else can I do with it? Right? What else can I get from this? So he ended up promoting it. He created the book, like I showed you, a social media outreach. He was on X, Instagram, YouTube. He came on my platform. I have a platform called Projections, where we speak to photographers about different projects that they're working on. And if you want, you can go to our YouTube channel, which is Projections NYC, and you can see all these shows. So he has the book, and he promoted it, like I said, in gallery shows, competitions, everywhere you could be. He actually was the winner of the Global Focus Award at Exposure, which is in Dubai. So yeah, he got all this trade recognition, you know, right down the line, all the different awards, really prestigious ones. And American Photography are really more in the assignment photography categories, which turned out to be great for him, right? He did online interviews at the Deutsche House. He did something with Blurb, and Blurb was the producer of this book. Um, and I love Blurb and companies like it because you don't need to print 500 books. You can just do five at a time, three at a time. And from there, you have this nice little promotion piece, and it becomes economical as well. So you don't have to do, like I say, of a huge run. You could do five at a time. And so what happened was TD Bank called one of his clients that it was not a client, the art director worked on that business at an ad agency, and he loved the idea. And they were thinking, the agency was thinking of an idea that they can use with their client, TD Bank, and they wanted to show New York City in the five boroughs, right? And they contacted Stefan. Stefan was ready to send an estimate, and he called me and he said, what do you think of this estimate? And I said, you can't send it, because he was shooting it like a photojournalist. He wasn't shooting it like a commercial photographer. So the budget ended up being so much bigger and so much more profitable for him, because that's what the agency and the client needed to see, was that there was production values in doing a project like this. And what happened was we ended up shooting video, and this is a piece. Now, if you imagine this is running at 42nd Street and Madison Avenue, right? I mean, the exposure that he got from doing this, and then them putting it on their video screen in the bank, was just outstanding. It was a great success, and we actually hired a video man, Steve Mallon, to do the shooting of the video. So we had the resources. Again, it's about resources. It's about pulling other people in to making something better. So for the ad agency, it made Stefan and made all of us look great that we could pull a production together like that. So that goes to making sure that you're always resourcing potential creative resources for you and your projects, right? So I won't run the whole thing, but you're getting an idea of all those images that we used. They ended up in the video, and we ended up shooting motion as well, under Stefan's direction. So, with that, again, here's my all my contacts. Um, and this project ended up being very lucrative for Stefan. Probably the biggest project he had in his whole career. All because he took a personal project and marketed it just in the smallest way to his clients, and the bell rung, so to speak, and it really turned out to be, well, great for him. So I encourage you guys to always be thinking, always be always be pushing back and pulling back the onion. So, what else is behind something? That's really the important thing. And that's what clients are looking for from you. We expect great work from you. That is a given. But what else can you bring? What else can be intriguing? What else can be interesting to me, as whether I'm an editor of a magazine or a client with a product? What else is it about you that says to me, let's contact them. They are great. They're interested. They're interesting, and they can make it happen. So with that, I will just sign off with that. And thank you so very much. And hopefully you guys have questions and we can chat.